Yaxel dunk in Vegas. Where were you for that moment?
We were on the break. I got the back tip steal to Elliott. Elliott passed it ahead to Yaxel. And I can just see him just showboating, pulling his jersey around.
Seemed genuinely shocked. He was like, oh my God, I just did that.
Some of my favorite guys to watch are the ones I kind of like to imitate. Kawhi, Paul George when he was younger, or like Dyson Daniels, the way like he uses his hands on defense, like just kind of guys like that. And when I was younger, I used to watch a ton of Dwayne Wade. I used to like his versatility, his speed, his quickness, his athleticism, especially at that size.
I was actually out in Utah for Trey Burke night, so I wasn't able to be in the building for that. I would have loved to have seen number 3 go up in the rafters.
It was impossible to lose that game. I couldn't lose it because Trey Burke kind of built my whole childhood. Coach Ben Lyons is actually from my area, upstate New York. His nephew was my AAU coach, growing up. So like we always seen Coach Ben Lyons as like, oh, somebody that like made it out and did something successful. So him being at Michigan, you always seen Trey Burke being there on such a special night, like his retirement night. It was just impossible for us to lose.
Welcome everyone to another episode of The Lab presented by Champ Media. My name is Ben Lyons. We appreciate you rocking out with us as the wins continue for the University of Michigan. We're excited to continue to have all the guys on the show. Roddy Gayle Jr. joins us today. It's great to see you, man. Congratulations on this year. Are you having as much fun playing as we are having watching you guys play?
Absolutely. This is a very special group of guys that we have, and it's been absolutely incredible just to be a part of it.
All right, let's start at the beginning of your journey. You come from Niagara Falls, upstate New York, and then you finished your high school career out at Wasatch. I was just out at Utah for the Sundance Film Festival. How did you get from upstate New York all the way out west?
COVID. New York was completely shut down, so Utah was like the only place available for me to be able to continue playing basketball, especially my junior and senior year when I feel like I needed to take full advantage of being able to get ready for college. So I feel like that was the next step for me, and I had a blast out there.
All right, so then something strange happened. You thought like Ohio State was the path, like, and you did that for a little while. You put on the scarlet and gray. Like, walk me through. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what was the mentality like during those years?
Like through my recruitment, I had a terrific relationship with Coach. The coach that recruited me to go there. So I feel like it was like a home for me. I also think that like a factor of COVID, I wasn't able to really take visits. So I committed pretty early in my high school career. I committed my sophomore year. So I feel like if I would have waited it out, maybe I would have still been a Buckeye, maybe I wouldn't. But I don't regret it at the end of the day. It led me to this position I am in now.
When you were there in Columbus and you realized, okay, I need a change of scenery, like, did you tell people that you were looking at Ann Arbor? When did Michigan start to come about? I mean, it's a very unusual thing for somebody to be the center of the rivalry like you are.
Yeah, it was more so like when I first entered the portal, I got a call from Coach Dusty, and I'm like, geez, it's gonna have, like, if I do decide to go, it's gonna be a very hard choice. But obviously, like, Coach May and staff and the team he was trying to build, the style of play that he wanted, like, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
It's one thing to be recruited by a coach, but then it's another thing to play for them. What's been the best part about actually playing for Dusty these last couple seasons?
I think just the ability for me, especially, just be able to pick his brain. I feel like Coach May is like a terrific mind. He eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. So it's just been amazing for me to be just kind of learn from him and his staff, most definitely.
You jump in the ice like Coach May too?
No. I don't like being cold. Them boys different. I can't do that.
It's fun, man, to see these kind of moments throughout the season pop up, whether it's Coach jumping in the ice, whether it's this summer, the camp up north, you guys went to the lake. Like, what is it? Vegas trip, right? There's kind of all these fun moments throughout this season in this group. Talk a little bit about just the chemistry and the camaraderie on the team and who you kind of hang around with the most, you think?
Yeah, like I said, this is probably the most connected group that I've ever been a part of coming in a season, and I feel like that started off the court. I feel like summer, we all came into Michigan and had like a common goal of just winning, and that allowed us to, kind of bond off the court. And I think that's like when you got guys like Yaxel, Trey, Elliott, those guys makes it so much easier to kind of connect different friend groups that you weren't even be able to like even build a relationship with. But now, through how connected we are off the court, it allows us to strive and understand like where people want to be on the court, and just kind of being able to like think what they're thinking without even having to communicate it.
Some new pieces, some freshmen, some transfers, in the mix, obviously, this year. But you guys had a lot of success at the end of last season, winning the Big Ten tournament, advancing into, the Sweet 16. You played great in the month of March, which is awesome. So how do you think that success you had last season is carried over to this season, even though there are some new guys in the mix?
Absolutely. I think it started with like my confidence level. I feel like it gave me the confidence to be able to come back into next year and be able to lead, especially with those guys, new guys coming in. I feel like me, Namari, and Will took it upon ourselves to be able to kind of set a foundation of what Dusty May's Michigan basketball team wants to look like. And we were able to reiterate that to those new guys that came in, freshmen, transfers. And I think that, we've kind of hit the ground running, and I feel like they've been able to accommodate for that.
Take me back to the tournament. You have a huge game. What happens on the timeline? Like, are you just getting like blown up from all over the world? Are you getting people tagging you? Like, what happens when you go off in the tournament and then you get back to your phone?
Most definitely, man. My phone was going so crazy. It was just an amazing experience because I never been to March Madness before. So just being in that moment and winning, I didn't even care what my phone looked like. It was just kind of the excitement that I had from, coaching staffs, my teammates, and just the love that, the fans were giving me, the people that were there. It was just an unreal feeling. I feel like March Madness is definitely, exactly what you see on television ever since I was little.
Yeah, you've never been in the tournament before because you were playing for Ohio. Now you come over to Michigan, and next thing you know, you're in the Sweet 16. You see how this works out, Roddy? We're no dummies over here.
Yes,
but you talk about, it feeling like it did when you watched it on television, or just, the fact that you're playing in the NCAA tournament. It's a lifelong dream, I would imagine. What are your kind of tricks or the secret to sort of staying level-headed and calm and not getting like too overwhelmed by a big stage and platform like that?
I think it's kind of one of my superpowers. I'm not very too emotional when it comes to stuff like this. So like, I'm usually the kind of guy who got to calm down my other teammates that are more emotional. So and it was like, Coach May always teach us to stay level-headed, never get too high, never get too low, never look. Be in the present, be where your feet are. That's just something that always circles in my mind. That was something that my coach at Ohio taught me, but something that kind of sticks with me is just be where your feet are, be present, be in the moment. So, it was fun for me to have the performance that I had in March Madness, but then as soon as we left Denver, we had to prepare for, our next game.
One moment we love to talk about on this show is the Yaxel dunk in Vegas. Where were you for that moment?
It was in transition. No, we were on the break. I got the back tip steal to Elliott. Elliott passed it ahead to Yaxel. And I can just see him just showboating, pulling his jersey around the floor.
Seemed genuinely shocked. He was like, "Oh my god, I just did that." He must do some crazy dunks in practice and stuff, right? I mean, you guys probably go at it. I would imagine it's one of those seasons where the practices can be maybe more intense than some of the games.
Yeah, though I was saying that. I was telling some of my guys in the regular season. I was even telling some of the freshmen, like, the practices are way more competitive than the games because, like, in my opinion, we have probably the second best bench lineup, in the country. So I feel like when you have the starters versus the bench, that is a top 10 level game as far as competitiveness. So I feel like that, like, you can't match that kind of energy. It's the same scheme, but I feel like just the kind of better we get just by competing 1-on-1, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, stuff like that. I feel like every day you just get better playing against each other.
We sat down with Yaxel in Ann Arbor towards the beginning of the season, and he said without a doubt he is the best gamer on the team. Since then, we've had a lot of your teammates come on this show, and they vouch for Yaxel. They say, yeah, hate to admit it, but he kind of is the best. Is Yaxel the best gamer on the Michigan basketball team?
Let me clear this out. Yaxel spends the most time gaming. I am the best gamer. There's a difference. Like, Yaxel, kind of takes it overboard, and he'd play the game all night, especially if he don't got class in the morning, don't got to wake up early. He'd be on all night. But me, personally, I'm efficient. He can't beat me. If you ask him, he might lie a little bit. He might, but he can't.
Is there one game that is the most competitive between the two of you guys?
It has to be 2K. It has to be 2K, just because, like, he always try to cheat and go Kevin Durant because he knows nobody can guard Kevin Durant in a virtual basketball game. And he tries to cheat all the time, but when it comes down to it, he knows not to play me.
All right, so who's your team in 2K?
Ooh. We usually go random, but if I had to pick, it'd be somebody like the Celtics or something where you can just switch 1 through 5 and be able to score offensively, like teams like that for sure.
See, Roddy, I'm a Knicks fan. We know how that movie ended last spring. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Trust me.
Come on. You know what I like to ask my Pistons friends? I always like to ask my Pistons friends out there in Michigan. I say, who has the 4th best performance in the history of Little Caesars? Because the top 3 are Jalen Brunson Game 6, Jalen Brunson Game 2, Jalen Brunson Game 1. So what's the 4th? Is it when like Giannis went for 50 in January a couple years ago? I don't know.
You got to stop picking on them.
Who are your favorite players? Like, who do you enjoy watching now and then when you were a kid and you first picked up a ball?
Now, I would say some of my favorite guys to watch are the ones I kind of like to imitate a little bit. So, like, I look at guys like, you know, kind of like defensive-minded guys. So, like, obviously, like a bunch of Kawhi, Paul George when he was younger, or, like, Dyson Daniels, the way, like, he uses his hands on defense. Like, just kind of guys like that. And then when I was younger, I used to watch a ton of Dwayne Wade. I used to like his versatility, his speed, his quickness, his athleticism, especially at that size. It was just great for me to be able to just watch, especially watch that in those early Miami days.
Yeah, I know. Despite being a Knicks fan, I got a lot of love for Flash. I kind of equate him to my dad being a Red Sox fan and loving Joe DiMaggio. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like that he's my Joe DiMaggio. Like, I just have to respect Dwayne Wade. He's awesome.
I'm a Mets fan though, so.
Oh wow! Oh man, see, as a New Yorker, I could never. I'm not even. No, like that's. Why would you do that to yourself? How did that happen?
It was so like obviously New York. You always think to just go Yankees, but I went to my first professional baseball game and it was the Mets. That just happened to be the Mets. I think I seen Mets versus Phillies, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just stick to this team. This was the first experience that I had. It was great. And last year was a bit
you really got the whole Met fan experience.
Yeah, last year was a bit of a roller coaster, but I feel like next year we got it.
All right, so you're a little bit of a baseball fan. What else do you like to do to kind of keep your mind fresh and away from the game of basketball? What are you doing to keep busy these days?
I really like watching like movie series, TV series, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Or if I'm not doing that, I'm probably just playing the game, especially just to wind down, especially how long the days be with class and practice and stuff like that. Honestly, it's just more chill.
You got a best picture of the year, being a cinephile? You got a film that you really love that you've seen recently?
I think the last thing that I've really seen that was really good was Sinners. That was like the last thing that I've seen that like really like stood with me, and I was thinking about it for like a whole week, just trying to figure it out. There was actually a film that we seen as a team probably about a week ago. I think it was called The Rip on Netflix. It was sort of new, and it kind of I like those movies that like make you think. Like, you're not just sitting there, kind of like in tune with the movie. You're kind of like thinking like something that's not supposed to happen. Also, we seen Stranger Things in theaters. That was pretty fun.
Yaxel says he wants to be a movie star. He wants to act. Do we see him? If he's not a gamer, you're saying you're a better gamer than him. He's got to do something. He says he wants to be an action star. What do you think?
He definitely, like, if anybody on the team had the opportunity to be a movie star, it'd definitely be him. Like, he's just a man of many talents, to be honest with
you. Yeah, I mean, just talk to me about Yaxel, the basketball player. We're poking fun of him here the whole episode, but just in terms of the hooper, I mean, he does so many things on the floor. What's it been like to add him to the mix this year?
It's been amazing. Just a guy who can play 1 through 5, switch out, like, and then like I hear people always like the Dominican LeBron, but it's like actually like that. Like in practice, sometimes he do something like he may look like he's just not engaged, and then he goes and makes one of the most unrealistic plays like I've never even seen. So it's like just kind of having a guy affect both sides of the ball at such a high level, and then it don't even have to show up on the stat sheet, but you just feel his impact each and every possession. I think it's just something that you can't take for granted.
Another one of your teammates we had to on the show, and then we got to spend some time with him here in New York when you guys took on St. John's, is Trey McKinney, freshman, McDonald's All-American, plays for Team USA in the under-19s. What are your thoughts on Trey, and is there any like freshman hazing? Probably not. You guys seem like we're probably past that, right? It's 2026. Like, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it hazing, but he definitely played for me and Yax's dinner one time. I feel like Trey's like my little protege. Like, he's like my little son, like my little kid, little brother. We look at him as like, especially me and Yax, like our workout group. We kind of look at Trey as just like a little brother, just kind of always like somebody who's gonna next year and the years to come gonna like have Michigan in great hands. I believe that, and I feel like it was my responsibility to be able to teach him everything that I've learned through these past 4 years. So I just feel like Trey's on a great trajectory to be like a great college basketball player and a very good professional player as well.
I mean, you're a great guy to get advice from. You've really experienced kind of pretty much everything that college basketball has to offer, the ups, the downs, the transferring, all of it, NIL. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you've faced in your journey so far?
Recently, I would say just like being on a team of so many different players each and every year. Like, there's not too many, like, the kind of era that we are now is just very like encouraging transfer and pick up and leave and pick up and move. And then like when you are entering a new program with so many different guys, it's kind of hard to, put yourself in that position and be able to kind of solidify yourself on what your role wants, on what it wants to be. And that's just something that being a leader and a captain this year, it was easier for me to be able to, like, now that I have a year under my belt under Michigan, I was able to kind of tell guys, like, this is what needs to be done, this is how we do it. And that's just something that was, like, kind of difficult at first, with 10 or 9 guys every year. So it's just been a blessing to be able to kind of learn different things throughout the journey.
You're right. It's really a collection of characters kind of every year that just forms together and then goes on a run from October into April. Yeah. It's been really fun to see this group to have, not only have success, but to have success at Chrysler and to see that place rocking again. Like, what's it like to play there on a Saturday when it's mazed out and you got friends and family there? It's got to be a real thrill.
It's amazing, man. Like, it's nothing better than, getting the basket, and then you, like, especially me, being able to go out there and defend and hear Chrysler just rocking. It's too rocking sometimes where you can't even hear the play call behind you, especially when you're in the ball screen, you can't tell. But just kind of like you get an unreal amount of energy when you hear the crowd get as loud as they do, and you feel like you just so engaged in the game. I feel like the crowd is engaged. It's just like unlimited confidence that you have to go out there and make a play. So, I mean, I feel like Maze Rage has been unbelievable this far, and we need that, every game moving forward.
And it's been amazing to watch the women have success this year as well. They've been hooping. Have you been following their season?
Yeah, definitely. We have a really good women's team. They're young as well, so I know that, next year or two they'll continue to be really good. We usually catch games on like when we're home. I like watching women's basketball. I feel like they have what it takes to be really good and proving themselves to be really good at this level and will be good at the next level.
I mean, that's what's so cool about University of Michigan, right? There's so many dynamic student athletes, kids across all the sports who are competing at a high level, both on the floor, on the field, and then in the classroom, in the game of life. Right. Are you studying anything that is really interesting to you or something that you could see yourself pursuing when your days of playing basketball might be done?
Yeah, I feel like actually me and one of my teammates, Namari, we're trying to go into the real estate business. So we were kind of venturing about that. But like I was telling one of my friends from back home, I'm like, the beauty about being at Michigan is that like somebody in the room that you're in is like gonna be very successful. So it's like as long as you make those connections and make friends, make different connections with those people, like I feel like you'll be. The network that you have in Michigan is possibly endless.
All right, so when I'm watching the games now and somebody's at the free throw line, like Yaxel's at the free throw line, and I look over and I see Roddy and Namari like talking, You guys aren't talking about the play. You guys are looking over. You're like, see that guy sitting courtside from Bloomfield Hills? He's got like a residential compound that we should invest in. Yeah, like, okay, you guys are doing deals on the court. Okay, I'm on to it. I'm gonna keep tabs on that. But you're right. I mean, it's so true, man. There's so many people from Michigan who are, successful in whatever industry you might be interested in. You probably met some interesting friends of the program over the last 2 years, I would imagine, out of Chrysler and at games and events and things like that. And just what's it like being part of the larger Michigan community?
It's been amazing, especially on the basketball side where you have alumni coming back and just giving their wisdom. I think is great, especially with those guys who've experienced Michigan at such a high level and being able to compete at such a high level, and then coming back and giving us some wisdom. Like, we've had so many guys come in and just be super supportive about our journey and what we've accomplished from the beginning of the season to now. And then, kind of some words of encouragement to be able to go out there and continue this run. So that's been a very appreciative, me especially, just to be able to kind of listen and learn from those guys.
Any significance behind the number 11?
So me personally, I'm a junior. So I look at number 11 as, Roman numerals 2. So that's just kind of how I think about it. It's just, just me being an outlet of my father, being able to kind of tribute to him. Because I know that this is his dream. This is where he wanted to be. And I'm kind of living his life through me. So I feel like it's always fun for me to be able to put on that jersey and for my dad and my family to be out there and kind of think of me.
I was going to ask you, as a junior, to tell us a little bit about Roddy Gayle Sr. and it brings a smile to your face.
Nah, for sure. My dad was the one that got me into basketball. He was my coach, my trainer, everything growing up. So, and I appreciate him for everything, especially getting me on the stage. Especially those AAU times early in my life where, we had to drive X amount of hours, fly X amount of hours to be able to go to a tournament where he probably didn't understand what was going to come out of it, but obviously it got me to the place I am now, so I'm very appreciative. Even nights where we've argued and my mom had to step in so many times, but I mean, it's just kind of like, I feel like my dad's my biggest critic, but at the end of the day, I know it's all love. He just pushed me and wants me to be better in all aspects of life, especially beyond basketball. So, I mean, very appreciative of his leadership for sure.
No, that's awesome, man. And paying tribute to him wearing number 11, I'm sure he's very proud and, set you on the right path, despite ending up at Ohio State and being a Met fan. You seem to have figured it out for yourself and gotten back on track. What would you say to Michigan fans about what they can expect this spring heading into the tournament and into March? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to keeping this energy high, keep Michigan basketball excited. I hear nothing but great things about how people, feel watching the game, especially a run that we had in Vegas. I think that we will be able to continue that kind of enthusiasm, intensity. Even like this past game, I feel like, we had Chrysler rocking. So I feel like going in the spring and March, I feel like we should be able to kind of keep that same camaraderie, that same togetherness, and be able to go do something special.
I was actually out in Utah for Trey Burke night, so I wasn't able to be in the building for that. I would have loved to have seen number 3 go up in the rafters. What was it like to be a part of the game where they honored Trey Burke?
Man, it felt like it was impossible to lose that game. I couldn't lose it because, man, seeing a guy like Trey Burke kind of build my whole childhood. Coach Beeline always wanted. So it's funny, Coach Beeline is actually from my area, upstate New York. So, like, his nephew was my AAU coach, growing up. So, like, we always seen Coach Beeline as, like, somebody that, like, made it out and did something successful. So, him being at Michigan, you always seen Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway. So, like, seeing those guys and being there on such a special night, like his retirement night, it was just impossible for us to lose. I feel like it took everything out of us to be able to go out there and grind out a win no matter what. And it was just amazing just kind of seeing how supportive he was of our team. He was up and excited every chance he got on the sidelines. And it's just an amazing feeling knowing that you got a guy like that who just had a legacy so set in stone where his jersey's in the rafters forever. They can't take that from him. So just having a guy like that in our program to be able to kind of give his wisdom and his encouragement is an amazing feeling.
It's cool to hear you have so much love for that team, that 2013 team. Obviously, Mitch McGarry and so many great guys, Spike Albrick and Trey Burke and a lot of great players, Stauskas, of course. But, for me growing up, like that team for me was the Fab Five. Like I loved, Chris and Juwan and Jalen and Jimmy and those guys. The Fab Five meant everything to me growing up, is a big reason why I went to Michigan ultimately. So I'm always curious with guys younger than me, like yourself, what the Fab Five and their legacy means to you.
I would say it meant more to my father than me. Like at the time, like I played, being at Ohio State, I played against Coach Juwan a few times, and like he always, like he never, even though there was a rivalry, like he never like said anything bad towards me. Like he always gave, like, oh, I like your game, I like how you do this, I like you do that. So like that meant a lot to me. Just having a guy in the Fab Five compliment my game and the things I was able to bring to the game meant a lot. And as far as my father, he talks about those guys like they're legends, they're guys, man. So I mean, I understand it though. We also have like some of those guys come to practice and be able to kind of give some of their wisdom as well. And it's just it's great, kind of hearing what they had to go through. To be able to build the foundation for us now. I'm very appreciative.
It was getting a little crazy out there, Roddy. These guys sacrificed so much to be able to wear baggy shorts, and then guys started rolling them up and wearing the tight shorts. It was getting wild, and now it's starting to just get back to normal a little bit. You know what I mean? Describe your look on the court, like how when you put together, your look for a Saturday afternoon in Ann Arbor.
Are you talking about game days?
Yeah, game days, your shoes, your socks, like the whole routine. Are you superstitious? Just describe your whole look on the court. Are you doing sleeves, headbands at any time of your life? Like the whole thing, accessories?
I usually do. So a funny story about, well, not really funny, but my mom used to work for this lady. She had cataracts in her eyes. So the only way she can tell if I was on the court is if I wore a headband. So for the longest, I would wear the headband just so she can identify that I was on the court. And whenever I would come home, she would always give me a big hug, big kiss on the cheek, and just be able to like, oh, I did good. Because she really couldn't see. That's amazing.
Wow.
That was an amazing, kind of
what a selfless thing for a young guy to do, huh? That's pretty cool.
For sure. But normally it's just a headband. It's probably the only accessory I'll go. But it depends. Like, if I do something bad in the arm sleeve, I'm never putting arm sleeve on ever again. But it honestly depends, man. I like to wear more colorful shoes just to kind of like, I don't like wearing black and white shoes like that. It's just, that doesn't move
that's
me.
where
like,
you guys are different from the Fab Five. The Fab Five was black shoes, black socks, bald heads.
No,
it's a different day. It's a different day.
Yaxel likes the black look, just all black look. I can't do it. I think it's just too. It's not fun.
Not for you. You want a little more color, a little more joy, a little more vibrancy.
Yeah, I want some personality. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to watch you and be like, oh, it's like a bag of Skittles running around the court out there. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's amazing blue and he's wearing neon orange. Okay, sure, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, seriously. So I just feel like, it all depends, man. It depends how
it's got to be cool being at a Jordan school and having the plug for some Jumpman, huh? So what's that like? Like, what's the process like with the shoes?
Ridiculous.
How many pairs are we getting? Like, how does that work?
I think it was probably a total of like 7 pairs of retros we got last year, just throughout the course of the year. It's like, as soon as you see like something good dropping, just expect it in your locker room after practice. But I feel like our equipment manager, he does a great job, a terrific job, just being able to kind of provide for our guys. And it's awesome. Just an amazing, I always, as soon as the box come, take a video, take a picture, send it to my guys back at home, because I know that they're trying to get in these lines and get on the drops and stuff, and I know it's impossible to get.
All right, we might have to do some type of, I don't know, Roddy Gayle and the Lab sneaker giveaway, some type of something around the tournament. Then you know what I mean, a super fan. We should figure something out. We could do something fun. I think.
Yes,
good stuff. Well, I appreciate you taking some time, man, and catching up in the heart of the season. And I'm really looking forward to watch you guys throughout the Big Ten tournament, and then obviously deep into March. So best of luck, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Roddy Gayle Jr. checking in the lab right here on Champ Media. Be sure to download, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. And as always, go blue. See you next time. Peace.